What's up? It's Lugo back again with Fat to Fit day 79. Is it day 79 or is it 80? I don't remember, but today we had some legs. It was day 80. Uh Today I did some legs and this was a fucking session. This was this was rough, man. I mean, I started doing squats and I felt good warming up, and then I got to my top set, which was or not top set, my top weight, which was 231. And I originally wanted to do like 233, but I got under it and I was like, fuck, dude, this is gonna be hard. And I started doing it and I was like, yeah, this is rough. And I think it's just because of my core. Like even now, it still just feels like my core is weak after doing all the core training that I've done. And maybe it's because my core is taxed. I feel like every time I get to this squat day, it's taxed from the day before because I do hanging leg raises. Uh, so it's a little harder, and I don't have my belt because it doesn't fit me. I'm too fat to fit into my belt right now. So um, for now I'm just gonna have to tough it out. But I looked at it and I thought that these look kind of shitty from the front, but I got a side angle. If everything was the same from side to this one, it didn't look terrible. A little bit of shooting back, which is something that we can always fix, but um, you know, with being back relatively new squatting, like a few months, it's not bad. I'm gonna have to slow the progression down though, because I could tell that the cut is already catching up to me, which is kind of unfortunate because I am not very good at squatting, and for whatever reason, when I start to cut weight, the first thing to go for me is squat, and I don't really know why that is. Maybe just the mass, but every time I've cut, my squat takes the biggest hit, and you would think that it would be bench, but I feel like my bench stays the same or even gets better. And the same with my deadlift. Deadlift is pretty understanding because my leverages get better as I get less fat, so I start to be able to get wedged in more. But honestly, I really looking at this side angle because I didn't really watch the whole set. I really like how this looks, man. I don't know this looked really nice, but I'm not sure if this is how all the sets look. Because I was doing a front angle, but I really did like how this looked. A little bit of a shooting back there towards the end, but I'm pretty satisfied with that. But this leg day was hard. I took like 100 milligrams more of caffeine than I normally take. I take about 2 to 300 depending. And I took 400 today, and I don't know why. For whatever reason, that 400 like hit me like a truck, and I felt like too stemmed out, which is weird because it's just 100 milligram increase. But I felt like I was tweaking when I was doing squats, and my heart was like racing really fast, which is normally not the case. But it felt really weird, and I don't particularly know why. And I think that's why it took me a few sets to kind of calm down because it was rough. And then this whole session, I felt like out of breath, tired, or not tired, but just like out of breath, and like it was hard for me to catch my breath. And then I started fucking cramping in my foot, like my left foot kept cramping during leg press. So I had to cut my sets from 3 to 2 because it just I don't know why it kept cramping. And I was like, dude, this is so annoying, bro. I'm trying to do my leg press. I felt like I could have honestly got more on leg press, but it just wasn't happening. So I was like, you know what, whatever. I did split squats at the beginning before my squats, which I think helped a little bit of the stabilization because I feel like I've always had like a right hip lean since I feel like I injured my hip. I want to say when I was like 19 doing the most dumb fucking trap bar deadlift of all time, just like all fucking back, like popping my hips up. And I tweaked it doing like 611 or something on the trap bar. And Yeah, it's never been the same since. I remember squatting after that and my back was tweaked out. And then I think from the hip, I ended up tweaking my back, and then my back was never the same after that tweak. Uh, since then, it's gotten better, but I feel like I've always had like a right lean since then. Like when squats start to get really hard and my leg gives out, it starts to like really lean hard to the right. And so I feel like I really have to do some pre-activation and do some unilateral work to really make sure that I'm firing on all cylinders on both legs. So it's just something that I have to do and keep in mind. And honestly, it felt like it worked pretty well. I feel like I was firing on both legs pretty well. Um, but yeah, this was hard, man. These seated hams, like the lactic acid buildup. I feel like maybe I was waiting too long in between reps, but it was really tough. But here was my top set of leg press, or my top weight of, I think this was like 320. And for whatever reason, I kept adjusting my shorts. You know, watching back, like you watch your tendencies, and it like starts to annoy the fuck out of me. Like, bro, just leave your fucking shorts alone, dickhead. Um, but I think I did like 17. Um, and honestly, I had to go to a place that I really didn't want to go because I started doing the reps, and by like rep 8, it felt hard, and I was like, "Dude, I'm getting mad because I'm being a fucking pussy right now." And I just started fucking like grunting, and I was like, "Dude, this is just not it's just not gonna work, bro, if I'm being soft and like I'm being a bitch." So I had to start pushing really hard into the leg press. Like I was trying to fucking push a boulder off me because it was just bad. Like I feel like I was accelerating too slowly in the beginning, so I had to just put all my effort in. Um, and I ended up getting 17. And honestly, I felt like I could have gotten more, but my left foot started cramping. Like it started feeling weird. And I think it's because I'm letting my heels rise, which I don't think is a bad thing, but it puts a lot of pressure on your midfoot, and it ended up cramping, and I kind of bitched out because it kept cramping. Like I kept trying to move it and try to get it, but it was just not working. So I ended up getting only like 17 when I felt like maybe I could have gotten 20, like if I really pushed it. And I honestly should have, but I was like, whatever, man. 17's good. I did 16 last week. I kind of don't want to dig myself a grave that big right now because last week I dug it really hard and I couldn't walk normally for like 2 days after training, and I was like, yeah, fuck that. I need to chill for a minute here. But it was a good leg day. Honestly, I enjoyed it. Not fucking really. After my second set of leg press, I threw up just like straight up water because I don't eat before I train. And today I had the smart idea of I always use a hydration supplement before I train on anything. And today it's Trioral or Element that I usually use. And today I added like 40 grams of carbs from Gatorade extra before I train because I sip on Gatorade while I train because it's just cheapest carb source. And I ended up just throwing up. Like I just fucking threw up. I think it was a combination of the caffeine, lots of liquid in my stomach, and then just the leg training in general was hard. And I just went to the restroom and I let it rip, which was not the worst, honestly. I felt better right after I did it because I was kind of nauseous. And it's just weird that it was on fucking calves. Like I was already almost done, and then I just went calves. I had the sensation, and I was like, dude, I don't want to throw up in the fucking trash can. So I just walked to the restroom, and I was just like, whatever, man. I'm just gonna bend over, and if it comes out, it comes out. No diddy. And I just let it rip. It was just water and Gatorade, but it's whatever. I mean, sometimes it just happens. I just feel like it wasn't a byproduct of actually training hard, which is kind of disappointing. Like I feel like I could have gone harder. I feel like the reason I threw up wasn't because of the training. I feel like it was more just because I had too much liquid in my stomach. But you know, I did. I don't know if you saw, but I moved my foot there because it was cramping really bad. Um, and I kept trying to push through it, but at some point I was just like, "What? Fuck this, man! Like I'm just gonna be done." I think on the second set I got like 14 or 15. I wasn't counting because I'm trying to keep like a good tempo on this and not dive bomb it and like kind of push off the end. But it was a good workout. I hate doing legs because I like training legs hard, but I don't like feeling how I feel after I train legs hard. Um, so it is anxiety ridden, to be honest. But it was a good training session. I'm happy with how I performed, especially with weight finally going down a lot. I think after my rest day, I'm probably going to be like 294, 293. I hope. But that's pretty much it. That's the video. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in 2 days for day 81.